Okay, this is one example of complex. Just I have written one complex. What type of complex this one? This is a salt-like complex because outside of square brackets some ions are present. That's why this type of complexes are called salt-like complex. Actually, this is the main complex. I mean, inside the square bracket, what are present, that is the main complex. This is not the part of a complex. This is just the ion to neutralize the outside charge. So, although I have joined 3 chlorine here, so these are not the part of the complex. Main complex is inside the square bracket. Now, this is cobalt. Cobalt is the metal. In a complex, this is called central metal atom. This is called central metal atom or ion. Why I have written atom or ion? Because this metal may be a neutral atom or it may contain some charge. That's why it may be in ionic form, it may be in atomic form. And here I have joined 6 water molecule. That water molecule in a complex, I mean with the metal, what molecule or ion is joined, that is called ligand. Here water is called ligand. I'll explain later what is ligand. Actually, inside the square bracket, always you will get a central metal atom or ion and you will get some ligand. And this part, I mean inside the square bracket part, this is called coordination. This is called coordination entity. And what ion you have applied to neutralize the charge, that is called counter ion. Actually, counter ion is not the part of the complex. It's just to neutralize the outside charge. So in a complex, always you will get a central metal atom or ion and you will get some ligand, and you may get or you may not get some counter ion. Now, in this complex, how much ligand I have joined? 6 ligand. I mean 6 water ligand I have joined. And how much ligand is joined with the cobalt, that is called coordination number of the complex. Every metal have some definite coordination number. I mean cobalt combined with 6 water, some metal combined with 4 ligand. So like this way you will get the coordination number, and normally generally the coordination number in complexes you will get either 4 or 6. Some metal have the coordination number 6 and some metal have the coordination number 4 depending on the nature of the metal atom. So this is one example of your complex. The metal is called central metal atom or ion. With the metal atom, what molecules are present, they are called ligand, and outside of square bracket what ions are present, that is called counter ion. So in every complexes you will get this type of ligand, central metal atom. Now I'll explain what is ligand. I mean what type of molecule, what type of ion can act as ligand, that I'll tell you. But before that, I want to tell you what are if you want to prepare some complexes in laboratory, how to prepare? To prepare the complexes, the simple method, you have to combine 2 salts. You know salts. If you combine 2 salts, then they can form this type of complexes. Now, when you combine 2 salts, it may form complex or it may form a salt which is called double salt. I mean, when you combine 2 salts, you may get double salt or you may get complex salt when you combine 2 salts. Now, when you will get double salt, when you will get complex salt? Actually, when you mix 2 salts, if you mix the salt in equimolar proportion, equimolar means same mole. If you take this salt 1 mole, that salt should be 1 mole. If you mix equimolar amount of salt, I mean 2 salts, then there is the possibility to get the complex salt. And if you mix the salt in unequimolar amount, I mean suppose one salt you have taken 1 mole, another salt you have taken 6 moles, like that, unequimolar amount, then there is a possibility to get the double salt. So when you mix 2 salts, they may produce either double salt or complex salt. Double salt you will get when you mix two salt in unequimolar amount, and complex salt you will get when you mix two salts in unequimolar amount. Now there are some differences also. For example, this is one example of double salt, ferrous sulfate, ammonium sulfate, dot some amount of water also. This is one example of double salt, and this is this double salt is also called Mohr salt. This is also called Mohr salt. In practical you will get, this is one example of double salt. Actually here I have applied two salt, one is ferrous sulfate, one is ammonium sulfate. When you apply these two salt in equimolar amount, then they will form this type of double salt, I mean Mohr salt you will get. But if you take these two salt in unequimolar amount, then there is the possibility to form this type of complex salt. And there are some differences between this double salt and complex salt. This is very important for exam. What are the differences between double salt and complex salt? So if you want to write the differences, point of differences between double salt and complex salt, you can write the first point: double salts are formed when we mix two salt in equimolar amount, and complex salts are formed when two salts are mixed in unequimolar amount. That is one of the point of differences between double salt and complex salt. Another point of difference, when this salt dissolve in water, I mean when double salt is dissolved in water, the salt is completely dissociate into ions. I mean it will form Fe2 plus SO4 2 minus NH4 plus SO4 2 minus, like this they will completely dissociate it in water. But when you dissolve a complex salt in water, they cannot produce any ions. I mean you cannot dissociate the complex salt by dissolving in water. So a double salt lose its identity in water or in aqueous solution, but complex salt retain its identity in aqueous solution. That is another point of differences. I mean this is a complex. Now if you dissolve in water, the square bracket part, it will remain same in water also. You cannot dissociate this part. But if a double salt is mixed with water, the double salt completely dissociate in water. So these were the main point of differences between double salt and complex salt. Double salts are formed by combination of two salt in equimolar amount. Complex salts are formed by mixing two salt in unequimolar amount. Double salt, when dissolved in water, they lose their identity. Complex salt, when dissolved in water, they retain its identity. I mean they will not dissociate into ions. These are the main point of differences between double salt and complex salt. Actually both are same. The preparation method is same. By combining two salts you can prepare both double and complex salt. But there are some point of differences between them. Okay, now I'll explain what are ligands, what type of molecule will act as ligand. So for this, this is the ending. Thank you.